Hey everybody, before we get into this video, just a reminder that I am offering demo reviews. Become a channel member. Link is in the description and all the information is listed there. I review demos every Sunday, so check it out. Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about throwing utility on the run. So first things first, we're going to talk about flashes and HEs. The only thing that doesn't have a timer on it would be the smoke and the decoy. The molly, yeah, it does burst in the air after a certain amount of time, but you're probably going to be throwing that at the ground. The nade and the flash are the things that you're going to be really like throwing in the air, and you want them to pop perfectly. Okay, so just from experience, I know that to get this nade into ramp, that's too far of a distance. All right, it's going to land right there. I know that I need to tap W to really get it to go where I want it to. All right, nice deep in there. Same thing goes with the flash. All right, flash and nade have the same kind of timer on them, so I know that I need to tap W to get that into ramp. It also helps, especially with flashes, to know how long it takes for them to pop. So I could throw something like that and turn from it at the exact time it's going to flash. It just comes from experience of knowing when they're going to pop and being able to get the most out of the angle before they pop. Another thing would be running sideways and throwing things. So the common example of this would be the window smoke like this. Alright, throwing it sideways. But that can be applied to other things without it needing a setup. So for example, let's say you're crossing to connector and you want a molly ramp. Right? You can do it like that, and then you can jump across. That's perfectly fine. Okay, it maybe wastes half a second going like this instead of immediately going across. But if you want to be cooler about it, all right, you can go for something like this, where you're running across and then you molly it. So I'm just holding A there. I'm not holding anything else, and I'm understanding that the molly's gonna, or the nade, it works for every nade. The nade's gonna go in the direction, or like diagonal of the direction that I'm going and where I'm aiming. Another cool thing that you can do is throw things backwards. So a good example of this would be if you're smoked off CT, all right, and for some reason you want to pop through this. So you could go like that and try to turn from it. That's fun, I guess, but if you want to be cool about it and you don't want to get flashed while you're going for it, you can throw it backwards. Alright, and come as soon as it pops out. There's different ways that you can get a pretty good, like, flash off of this or something, so I'm pressing both mouse buttons right now. And just stepping backwards like that's going to give me a nice arc. And it's not really, like, it's not any different from going like that, but it just presets you up in that turned away position. Let me throw it better. It sets you up in that, like, already turned away, so you can pop out with it. Right? You don't have to worry about turning and then turning back. It removes one of the movements. Another way that you want to, like, get used to smokes and, like, how the trajectory of items or utility lands is, let's say you're coming up mid, alright? You don't want to have to stand back here and throw a smoke like that, or have to line up your molly. I think that's the lineup. I never really learned it. You don't want to have lineups for every single thing. You want to know that, like, you can throw it like that and it's going to land, alright? Or you can throw the smoke even a little closer like that and it's going to get in there. And you want to make sure that you try to aim it towards the front. Like, yeah, it's easy to chuck it and it's going to go deeper. Let me do an example of that. So that might stay deep. No, I was trying to get it right at the end. But you want to, like, try to throw it properly. It's not enough to get the smoke back there. You want the smoke to bounce off the back wall and have enough space to reach all the way up front. A common place where you're probably going to be having to throw things on the run is B site. So yeah, you could have your market window smoke and your get left and get right smokes down. Okay, but it's more likely that even if you have those smokes down, by the time you get onto site and you're planting, after you plant, those smokes are going to be faded. So there's a couple things that you can do. Let's say you need to smoke market window off. First, you never want to be on this angle. All right, you don't want to be on an on angle with a nade in hand. So you're probably going to want to be right here. Now, there's a couple things you can do. You don't want to smoke into market. That's not really covering the angle for you. And you want to think about your different types of throws. You got your underhand, you got your middle throw, and then you got your full left click. All right. For this, I might do a middle throw, all right, and tap W with it. That's going to give me a good smoke there. But then, for example, cat, instead of having to peek like this and try to smoke it, or peek all the way like this and throw the smoke, you don't have to see the angle to properly smoke it off. I could throw something, I could throw something like this, and that's going to do the same exact job, and I'm not exposed to the angle. All right. There's a lot of creative ways that you can use smokes, so if I need to smoke market door off, I could try to squeeze something in here, but it's probably going to have a gap on the right side. Luckily, that one didn't. But so let me clear that smoke. You got to think outside the box, all right? You could go for one over here, maybe cut it off a little shorter. You could even go for a middle click over the top. That's going to land there. Okay, there's just a lot of different ways that you can throw smokes. Let's see if I can just make one up. If it fell down, that would have been a cool smoke, though. There's just a lot of different opportunities to throw utility off of things. And the better you get at it, the more utility damage you're going to do, the more effective your utility is going to be. All right, for example, nading into ramp, you don't want your nade to land here, okay? You want your nade to land here. So you could throw it early off this wall, but it's not going to go deep enough. Okay, it's going to explode before it gets there. You just have to know the timings of these kind of things. To get it to go the deepest, you want to be coming up on default by the time you throw it. All right, see, that was still a little bit too early. So you want to be almost up to default, and then finally it's going to get down to the actual angle that you're looking for. So you need to know the timings of these, and just being able to ad-lib like flashes and stuff, all right, on the run. It's very nice, just making sure that you're comfortable with it, because the last thing you want to do is like try to throw a smoke up cat and you miss it and it bounces wrong, or you just completely mess it up like that, or you don't throw it off the correct thing and it leaves a big gap and it screws your team over. You want to be comfortable with utility. That's the last thing that you want holding you back. Right? Your aim is already enough of a problem, a liability. Your positioning, you don't want to have to worry about making sure your utility usage is good as well. If you can practice that, get it down, it removes one less variable that you have to worry about when you're in game. So thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you next time.